Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Stargirl, and this will be my review for Stargirl Season 1, Episode 6, otherwise titled The Justice Society. Before I get into the review, however, two things. Don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And the second thing, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this episode or haven't caught up with Stargirl this season, you have been warned, as I'll be heading to spoilers since I'll be breaking down the episode bit by bit as I give you guys my overall thoughts on this episode. Okay, so this episode kicks off with an American football training, and we have Artemis, the daughter of both Sportsmaster and Tigress, who is the star of the team, and she's literally destroying everyone. And she does fall into a fight with one of the other people in the opposite team, I'm guessing. I don't know anything about American football, so I don't know how these things work. But what happens is that the coach sends Artemis off the pitch, which pisses the parents of Artemis, so Sportsmaster and Tigress. Now, Sportsmaster and Tigress teach this sports coach a lesson at night as he smacks a baseball bat right across the guy's head, killing him. We do then head to Courtney, and Courtney is arriving from the events of last episode, and we have Pat, who's pissed about the fact that Courtney took the JSA stuff and gave it to other people. We have Green Lantern references as well, with Pat mentioning that the Green Lantern could have killed Courtney, but luckily the lantern doesn't work without the ring. So could we potentially see the ring come into play in Season 2? I hope so, but who knows. Now, Courtney tells Pat who she gave the JSA stuff to, and she also mentions that Salman Grundy was in fact the murderer of Rex Tyler and his wife, in which Pat wouldn't have known about it as he would have believed the accident thing. But Pat does feel, pretty betrayed that Courtney did this behind Pat's back. So yeah, Pat isn't really happy about this. And we then have Pat storm out of Courtney's room with the JSA stuff, and he forgets the Thunderbolt pen, which could come into play later as well. But in my opinion, I think Pat has the right to be mad because Courtney did all this stuff behind his back. But we do have something troubling Icicle, and he's about to leave his house until his son Cameron is unable to sleep due to something troubling him, and I'll get to that later on. But Icicle goes to Sportsmaster and Tigress, and he mentions that it's their turn to suit up and they're assigned a mission. Now, there are these scenes where Courtney is attempting to take the Wildcat suit from Yolanda and the Dr. Midnight goggles from Beth, but she feels so bad that she can't do it because Pat wants those things back, because these people are basically just unexperienced kids basically, and they don't know how to use these stuff. And when she tries taking it from Yolanda, she mentions that being Wildcat is so inspiring and is the best thing that could have happened to her, whereas when she tries taking it from Beth, she mentions that it's her only and best friend, and there's no way she'd give it up. So this is something which is pretty troubling for Courtney, because she can't take it because she'll feel so bad if she does. So when Courtney tries to do it during lunch, obviously she gets full on denied by both Yolanda and Beth, and they just get angry and they walk away, and Courtney just sat there alone. And we also have Pat attempting to talk to Rick, and he shows him some of Rex Tyler's stuff and why it is that Rick isn't in the right mentality to use the hourglass, unlike his father, Rex. Now, Pat gives Rick Rex Tyler's notebook as well to see if he can possibly decode it, in which he obviously can. This was really mysterious, and I am very intrigued to see how this plays out, because not even Dr. Midnight's goggles were able to, crack this code. So both Courtney and Pat are obviously trying to get back hold of the JSA items, which isn't going very well for them. We do then cut to the gambler, and he just assigns the mission to Sportsmaster and Tigress, and he tells them what to do, and is to do with that satellite thing for Project New America. Now in school we have the JSA assemble, and Courtney is trying to apologize, but then Dr. Midnight's goggles sense that someone is trying to hack the satellites, in which it is revealed to be the Gambler, and this has something to do with the ISA's new Project America thing, as I mentioned before. So yeah, the team is to suit up and stop the Gambler, since he is an easy target due to him having no powers, which is why the JSA are like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity for a mission. But we do have this cool scene and sad scene in the same time between Jordan and his son. Now, some waitress overheard the word birthday, so she thought that it was one of their birthdays. So she brings a cake to them, but actually it turns out to be Jordan's wife's birthday, so Cameron's mom, and she's obviously dead. Now, this is what's actually troubling both Cameron and Jordan. Now, the waitress was obviously feeling so guilty that she did that, and Jordan was being so nice to her. He's like, oh no, it's fine. So we see that human side of Jordan, although he's like a full-on villain. But we do have Cameron blow the cake, and this is the cool part. We see his icy breath starting to develop, so they're probably setting up Icicle Jr. coming soon. But we do have the first mission of the JSA, and they're all in their suits. And Courtney's trying to set up a plan in which Hourman just storms in and doesn't want to listen. And we do have the Gambler playing music as well, while hacking and playing a game of cards as well, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, the lack of teamwork with the new JSA isn't going very well for them, and they do also see a dead body, which makes them feel so grossed out. Now, the Gambler isn't in Empire Enterprises, but rather he's in his own house. So this was actually a really cool twist, which I wasn't expecting. I thought the Gambler was actually in that area where the JSI was, but yeah, they weren't. It was actually his cat making the noises, which I thought was pretty funny. But we do have the new JSA face off Sportsmaster and Tigress. The JSA just get destroyed basically. The fight scene was amazing, however. We also had a solo fight scene between Sportsmaster and Hourman, which was so cool, and we get to explore the gadgets that Sportsmaster had, which was just awesome. And we had Hourman being able to land some punches here and there as well. I just loved this fight scene, it was so great. But one of the fight scenes that was even better was the Wildcat versus Tigress fight. Now, this was a more fair fight since Yolanda is experienced with martial arts already. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Now, Wildcat is about to get killed by like a crossbow, I think it was. And Dr. Midnight saves the day, which was pretty cool because she has no special abilities and all. She just used the fire extinguisher and put it on Tigress. But now our man is off, he's injured and stuff. And now it's Courtney's turn. Now, Courtney does end up saving Rick, with the effects of the Cosmic Staff. That fight scene between Sportsmaster and Tigress versus Stargirl was just awesome. I loved it. But Sportsmaster is having a tougher job to fight Courtney. Now, that would actually make sense because the staff pretty much does most of the fighting alongside just Courtney's acrobatics. So it would actually be more of a challenge for Sportsmaster to fight Stargirl because the staff is pretty much the experienced one over Stargirl. Now, I really got worried in this scene where Sportsmaster stuck the hockey puck onto the staff and blew it up. I actually thought the staff was momentarily dead, but actually that wasn't the case. It just ignites again. And that ignition effect, as I said, it just looks so cool. We then had Stripe arriving, and that was actually the scene we saw in Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they show Earth 2 for the first time. And when he arrived, I just got chills. It was just so cool. But since Stripe has arrived, that means that the ISA are pretty much screwed, so Sportsmaster and Tigress dip out of the area. And we do actually get all JSA members in the garage that Pat works in, and they're amazed with the striped suit. They're like, how did you build this out of car parts and things like that? We also do have a great talk between Pat and Courtney as well, and it was just great seeing their relationship, get into another level. But Pat approves with the new JSA, and training will begin for them as well, because they do need training, as evident from that fight scene. They literally got destroyed. But then the ending of the episode is the ISA working on their satellite, and we find out that Brainwave is needed for this project New America to actually work, or else it won't. So I'm guessing Brainwave will be killed off, so this could be hard for the ISA, because remember, if Brainwave is there, that would mean that Brainwave knows who Stargirl is, and that would easily put a target on Courtney, which is why I don't think Brainwave will make it alive. I think he will die, and then they're gonna find out that Henry Jr. will be the one who has Brainwave power, so they may use him instead. Because as I said, I don't think the Henry Sr. will make it alive. But the ISA do also want to find out who the JSA members are, and that shouldn't be a problem, because 2 of the ISA members already work in the school that all the JSA members are pretty much in. But overall, this episode was probably my favorite. It was such a fun and cool episode, and I just missed having the fight scenes. So for me, the fight scene just really increased the score, and I will give this episode a 9.5 out of 10. I just thought it was pretty enjoyable. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of this episode. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.